friends, let's begin standing at the back of your mat. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Holding it here for just a moment, dropping your head down, feeling a nice stretch in the backs of those legs. Half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, letting that head be heavy. Walking out into plank position, pulling your abs in, shifting your weight forward, coming down chaturanga to upward facing dog, keeping those thighs lifted off the mat. Press back into downward facing dog, uncurling those toes slowly, and press back. Hold it here for a moment. Bending those knees, looking forward to the front of your mat and hop forward. Forward fold again. Feeling the lengthening in the backs of those legs. Bending your knees, lifting those arms up, coming into your seated chair squat. Extend up and back, palms to your heart. Sit back and lift up, back, lift up, back, lift up, back, lift up, back, lift up, and hold. Coming back into your seated squat, dropping those hands down, forward fold. Bringing your forehead as close as you can to those shins, stepping your right foot back. Holding here for a second. Nice low lunge here, feeling that stretch. And step back into your plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Pressing those hips back. Pressing your heels to the mat. Raising your left leg high in the air. Pointing through those toes, bend your knee and step through your hands. Warming up the lower body here, as well as stretching it. Bringing the opposite foot forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Seeing if you can come a little bit closer to your shins this time, and roll all the way up. Lifting your arms up overhead, inhale, exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, lift up again, stretch, and dive down, forward fold. Bending your knees, lifting those arms up high, back into your seated chair squat. And now lift up, bringing that left knee up to your belly button. So sit back and lift up, back and lift up, back and lift, sit back, lift, sit back, lift up. Keeping this going. Sitting back and holding, dive down, forward fold, bending your knees and hopping to the back of your mat into plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and press back, downward facing dog. Bending your knees, hop forward to the front of your mat, and forward fold. Bending your knees, lifting those arms back up, seated chair squat, lift up. This time your right knee lifts up to your belly button. So lift up and back, lift up and back, lift and back, lift and back. Keep this going. Inhale and exhale. Forward fold. Bending your knees and hopping to the back of your mat into your plank. Press your hips back, downward facing dog. This time your right leg extends up, bend your knee, and bring your foot through your hands. Holding here, Left leg is nice and long in that low lunge. Now stand up, bringing your left knee up as you stand up. Press back into your warrior three. Again, lift up. Press right back into your warrior three. And lift. Exhale, press back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back. And holding it here, crossing left ankle over that right knee, palms to your heart, sit your hips back, feeling a nice stretch through the back of that left leg and that hip. Holding it here, and lift up. Inhale those arms high, exhale, forward fold, bending your knees, hopping back into plank, chaturanga to upward facing dog, downward facing dog, extending that left leg long, bending your left knee and step through those hands, holding it here. Now lift up, bringing that right knee to your belly button, press back to warrior three, and lift up, press back, point those toes, extend long from the crown of your head all the way through those toes. Make it one nice straight long line. Press back, warrior three, lift up, and hold, and release. Inhale, lifting those arms up, and forward fold. Bending your knees, hop back into plank. Lifting that right leg and left leg, right leg and left. Keeping your abs pulled in the entire time. Don't let them sink down. And press back, downward facing dog. Bending your knees and bringing them all the way to your mat. Extending that right leg long, tap your toes down and lift up, down and lift up. Keeping your leg pointed straight to the back. Your toes are pointed, everything is long, your abs are pulled in, and hold up. And little pulses. Lift, 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 lift. Keeping this going. Lift, lift, and hold. Flex your foot, bend your knee, bring it down and press up. Down, press up, down, press up. Bringing that heel straight up behind you. Down, lift up, down, lift up, down, lift up, and hold. Now crossing that right knee over left and lift. So you're going into a diagonal, cross and lift up, cross and lift up. Don't forget about those abs, keep them pulled in, support your spine. Cross and lift up and hold. Point your toes, extend long. Now little circles. Circle, circle, and hold. Now reverse your circle. Little small circles here, not too big. And hold. Bending your knee in and bring it down. Press back, child's pose for just a moment. Getting a little bit of a stretch here. And holding. Coming back up onto your hands and knees. Extend your left leg long. Point your toes and lift. Down and lift. Down, lift. Down, lift. Keep this going. Remember those abs are pulled in. Don't forget about them. Stretching long from your toes through the crown of your head and hold. Holding it here. Now flex your foot. You're going to bend that left knee and pulse it up. Lift up, lift up, lift, lift, lift. Keeping this going here. Lift up. Now cross over and lift. Cross cross over and lift, cross and lift, cross, lift, cross, lift. Keep this going. Cross and lift and hold. Pointing those toes, extend long. Now little circles in one direction. Circle, circle, circle. Trying to keep your hips still. Now reverse your circle. So everything stays nice and still except for that leg. Holding it here, bending your knee and bring it down. Child's pose. Coming back up into plank, press down, downward facing dog, bending your knees, hop forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Bending your knees and sitting all the way back. You're going to roll all the way back to your mat, keeping your knees bent. Bring that left knee in, extend it long, pulling it down into your chest. Extend your right leg long along the mat if you can. If it's more comfortable, you can keep that right knee bent. You can also lift yourself up a little bit higher to bring that leg a little closer to you. Now right leg bends in, extend. Left leg extends long on your mat, pointing those right toes. You can either lift yourself up or you can bring those shoulders all the way to the mat, whatever feels good for you. Both knees in and release. Lifting up into your bridge, keeping your heels directly under your knees. Bring that left knee in, extend it long, kick up and lower down, kick up, lower down. Whole time keeping your hips lifted up off the mat. And don't let that left leg touch on the lower down. Kick up. And now little lifts, hold it here. Lift, lift, lift. Keep this going. Lift and hold. Bend that knee, keep those hips lifted, don't let them drop. Right knee comes in, extend that right leg long and kick up, down, lift. Kick up, down, kick up, lift. Keep this going. Lift and lower and hold. Little pulses up with those hips. Lift and hold, bending that knee in and drop your foot down. Keep those hips up for just a moment more. Now drop your hips down, bringing your knees in, hug them to your chest, roll up into your boat pose. Try not to let those feet touch. Rock back, and this time all the way up into your chair squat. Holding it here. Dive forward, forward fold, and hop back to the back of your mat, plank position. Downward facing dog, right leg lifts up, bend your knee, and step it through, bringing that right knee to your right thumb. Trying to get that right hip all the way down to your mat. You can lean forward if that feels good, or you can stay lifted on those hands. Holding it here and breathe. Lift all the way up, bringing that left leg all the way across your right leg, keeping your back nice and straight. Bringing that right elbow to the outside of that left knee, rotating through your upper body, looking over your left shoulder. Holding it here. And release. Nice straight back. Release those feet. Hold here for a moment and roll all the way to your mat with control. Bringing your knees back in, coming up into boat once more, holding it here. Lifting those arms up if you want a little extra challenge. You can also extend those legs. And coming back to boat. Lower with control. And this time, we're going to rock all the way up, coming into that chair squat. Forward fold. Bending your knees, hop back into plank. Downward facing dog. This time, extend your left leg long, bend your knee, bringing your left knee to your left thumb. Bringing that left hip down to your mat. You can stay right here or you can lower down onto those elbows, whatever feels best for you. Enjoy this stretch. This is one of my favorites. Now bring that right leg all the way across your left. Plant that foot on your mat. Bringing that knee in, crossing your left elbow over your right knee, rotating and looking over that right shoulder. Holding it here. This is such a great stretch for that back. And release. Bringing both knees to your chest, extend long, and lower all the way down. Extending those legs long along your mat. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. You can stay here as long as you would like. Enjoy this.